Frisco Friday here on the roast. What's happening to everybody out there on the roadways? As Shasky said, man, it's a little wet. Traffic is picking up, so please drive safe. I saw a couple accidents this morning driving on the way in. That's not the way you want to start your day.
No.
Good morning to everybody on the Comcast Business text line, YouTube, and Twitch. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. You guys are a lot of fun there, as well as the Comcast Business text line, 888-957-9570. I would love to hear from people who were at Chase Center last night. How was the vibe to you? How was the atmosphere to you? Because I thought it was electric. It was absolutely electric. And you know what? What enhances the vibe is having good basketball games.
Well, that's, yes.
And I thought we had good basketball games last night at Chase Center.
So you've been to national championship games.
Yep.
You've been to NFL playoff games.
Yep.
You've been to Major League Baseball playoff games.
Yep.
And it's always, there's a recency bias that's kind of
Right.
baked into all these things. But like in terms of random sporting events or just sporting events in general,
Right.
where would you put this one?
So I've always been a fan of March Madness. You know that.
Yeah.
I've fallen off of college basketball over the last 5 years. It's just tough to cover. We covered all the pro teams.
Yeah.
And now I have a
The
kid.
one and
It's
done,
done.
but
One and done is fun.
There's a lot of factors that have made people not love the game
Right,
as much.
right. One and done. The coaching, the overcoaching, the style of play, the
Transfer
block charge
portals.
call. Yeah, it's a
There's
mess.
a lot.
It's a lot going
I
on.
don't blame the kids.
But March Madness always is that event where it feels like it's the gateway to summer because you have March Madness.
I like that.
You have March Madness. You have the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
You have baseball coming back.
The little
and now
runway.
you're flying,
Yeah.
right? It's the first event to be like, all
Yeah.
right, it's turn up time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It leads you right into the NBA playoffs. So this event is just random, but it's fun. I don't know where it ranks, but it's fun. And when you watch it on TV, growing up, I'm just like, man, that'd be sick if San Francisco had a regional, a first or second round, or a Sweet 16 and Elite Eight. Well, we got a regional. And it was like, and the teams that they got the top 4 seeds in the region, which worked out perfectly
It
for
really
Chase
did.
Center.
Yeah.
You know, you get Arkansas, you get Duke. You get Duke to come out
And
west.
Gonzaga, who's become a basic powerhouse on the West Coast in basketball.
Yep, but
UCLA was the powerhouse for many years.
Yep.
They have fallen off. I mean, Gonzaga is perpetually in the top 5.
They have. And you think about it, like, you get Duke. Duke playing in San Francisco. Now, I remember watching the game when Jay Williams and the Duke Blue Devils came out to Oracle Arena and played Stafford. Remember Tiger Woods was going crazy on the sideline. Casey Jacobson and company came all the way back.
Bookmark the Tiger thing. I've got something to tell you about Tiger when you're done. Keep going.
And then, like, to see the tournament being in San Francisco for the first time in 1939. And I think we got to play this out. We'll find it. Coach K on San Francisco, Jason Dumas from 95.7 The Game, Crawford, he was out there yesterday. He does a great job. He asked Coach K a great question. What does it mean to play out here in the Bay Area? And Coach K went off for 2 minutes and 40 seconds about like, hey, I've been knowing about this region. This region is deep rooted in basketball. And the fact that Coach K had experience of staying in San Francisco at the Army barracks in the Presidio.
That's pretty cool.
And to hear that, I got chills, Shasky, thinking like, this is Coach K, one of the most accomplished coaches of all time in any sport. And this guy's bringing up like the AAU teams out here, Pete Newell, all the players that came out of Oakland, Bill Russell. We practiced at USF. They knew about the championship banners, Casey Jones. And I'm thinking, this is Coach K bigging up my region, my city, my region, the place that I grew up in. It meant a lot to me, Shasky.
No, I bet it did. And bringing up the Presidio, the old school barracks, I don't know how many times you came across the Golden Gate Bridge from Marin into San Francisco, but anytime we did that trip, we would beg my dad to go through the Presidio to see all the old school, because they used to have things displayed.
Yep.
You know, they would have the tanks and
Yep.
things like that. They were all obviously non-functional, and they were more prop than they were anything else. But it was, Dad, let's take the Presidio. It was really cool back in the day.
Was.
Well, I believe they decommissioned it in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I think so, yeah.
And they kind of removed a lot of those things. But if you're old enough to remember that was a special thing to see alongside the water, the Presidio.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get Jordan on here from Union City. Jordan, what's happening?
up, Jordan?
Good morning, man.
Good morning.
How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday. How y'all doing?
Good. Doing great. Last night was awesome, Jordan.
Man, last night was electric. And you know, I guess because of the hangover that I have, because I was at that national championship, too. You know, it was. My question was, you have 3 teams technically from the South that are coming out here, so how's that turnout going to be, right? But, man, that was awesome. The games are great. Yeah, great storylines going into it. So I can't even wait for Saturday. To Shasky's point earlier, though, because I know he was talking about the Final Four out here, the only thing that's holding me back on that, obviously, we know how much the NCAA loves having the men's tournament in these big football stadiums now.
Yeah.
So that's the only drawback on it. But I tell you what would be awesome. Have the women's Final Four out here.
Oh,
I like that.
Women's talent. You have so much women's talent out here.
There is. Can I ask you a question?
That actually plays in it. Yeah, what's up?
Well, you live in Union City?
Yeah.
So you've been down. You're closer to Santa Clara than you are to San Francisco. I'm assuming the drive's easier for you to get to Levi Stadium. Can you compare or contrast the two, going to both of them? Like, do you see Levi's ever getting another one, like whether it's a Super Bowl or a national title? I can't.
I would say Super Bowl would be more likely, just from the standpoint of it's during the weekend, right? With the national championship, sometimes it's on a Monday, and obviously, like you said, trying to get down there.
Oh, we lost Jordan. He lost Jordan. But you know what? Maybe give us a call back and finish that call off strong, because you got off to a good start.
It feels like the NFL has their locked-in venues that like Arizona.
Yep, Glendale.
They're going to throw Dallas in there because Jerry just owns everything. Yep. You're going to throw Vegas in there, Miami, New Orleans.
Yep. And you're going to get a random city like Minnesota.
That built the stadium.
You know, they have the dome.
Absolutely.
Chicago may be building a dome stadium in Arlington, Illinois, out there in the suburb of Chicago.
As great as New York is, there's a reason why New York has only hosted recently that one Super Bowl, because logistically it's a difficult task. You have to go all the way to New Jersey. You got to go 25, 30 miles outside the city limits.
Don't forget about Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
They're going to be in the mix there. So you're going to get a random city like a Minnesota, like a Tampa Bay. Heck, I don't
Detroit?
know. Houston,
Yeah,
Detroit.
Yeah.
They had a Super Bowl with the Steelers and the Seahawks.
And they had
Houston,
the
don't forget about
49ers
them.
back when.
Yep, they had the Niners. Yeah, their first Super Bowl.
One. But I think what ends up happening is there's a rotation, and then yes, they'll sprinkle in the new places. I just see Levi's as the odd man out. Like immediately, they've kind of been leapfrogged by some of these newer stadiums that are logistically easier to get in and out of, and quite frankly, the aesthetics of the stadium are better at other places.
You know what? Jordan made a great point about the women's Final Four.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Well,
and you know what?
Basketball's humongous.
I think the NCAA took notes.
That's a good point.
I think they took notes last night and said, you know what? We could bring the women's Final Four here, and it would be a great turnout, especially if Stafford was getting to the Final Four. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well, and he brought up a good point about the 3 Southern teams and them coming here. That was a big thing during the national. How many Clemson fans can afford to come here?
Or Alabama fans.
Remember that when that was the question?
Hey, let me tell you, that baby was packed.
It was, huh?
It was packed.
Wow.
Packed. Clemson fans, and what Clemson fans do whenever they travel, they give out $2 bills with a tiger paw on the $2 bill, and they give them out to everybody to let them know that, hey, Clemson was in your town. I still have a $2 bill in my wallet.
$2 bills?
Yeah, I still have a $2 bill.
Stamped?
Yeah, they stamp them. Here, I'll pull it out right now as we head to break.
It like what, for good luck?
I got it from this guy who was a big Clemson fan who worked for the FBI.
So
I kept it. I still have it from that national championship weekend.
Wow.
Look at that, Twitch.
Wow.
If you can see it,
You're
Twitch,
like Ricky
YouTube.
Henderson. Now you keeping your first check.
$2 bill, tiger paw on it. Now it's turned peak. It's not orange anymore, so we'll see what happens with that. But 888-957-9570 if you want to get in on March Madness.
I just don't think Levi's is going to get back in the mix. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to be a hater. I think I'm just being realistic and logistical, and I don't think it's going to happen.
The Super Bowl was just... It was a nightmare in terms of trying to get back and forth to events. Carolina and Denver are in the South Bay. You got the NFL experience up here in San Francisco. All the parties up here in San Francisco. It was just a nightmare, man. All right, more coming up on the roast. 888-957-9570. Don't forget, Warriors and Hawks today. I do want to get into a little Trae Young. I want to get into a little Trae Young as the Warriors try to win their second straight game after losing 3 in a row. Great game, great win on Wednesday against Miami. More coming up on the roast.
Listening